A popular way to make a healthy wage as an artist is to take commissions, but there are many pitfalls that we can fall into in the process of taking a commission. Trust me, I've fallen into almost every single one. So in today's video, I'm going to chat about 3 things that you definitely need to do in the commission process and 2 things that you should definitely avoid. Let's jump into the 3 things that you definitely need to do in the commission process. The first is to have a contract. It might feel a little stiff for you. It might feel like it puts a wall between you and your client, or you know them so well, you definitely don't need a contract. I'm here to tell you, have a contract. You don't even have the excuse that it's difficult to write it, because you can leverage artificial intelligence in today's day and age to write it very quickly, and it should have a few key stipulations. The first is that you will receive 50% of the total price of the painting before you have even begun it, and that payment is fully non-refundable. This protects your time, and there are so many things that can happen in the painting process beyond just the fact that they don't like the painting at the end. They can have a change of circumstance or a change of heart, which is completely separate for you, and love the painting, but suddenly they don't want to really pay that amount of money, and you have spent hours and hours and hours and so much time thinking about this painting, and now you're not going to get paid for it. That 50% non-refundable payment, which happens before you even put the brush to the canvas, protects you. Having a contract also creates a level of professionality, and as a client spending probably what will be a good bit of money on a commission painting, it will help them to feel more at ease and more carried through the process. Have a contract. It will stipulate other things as well, the time frame, when they can expect the portrait to be done, many different factors, but the most important thing to stipulate clearly and confidently is you will be getting 50% of it non-refundable. This will be the way that it will be accepted, and the final 50 will be accepted after the painting has been finished and they've approved it, and before it has been shipped to their house or before they drive home with it in their car. Have a contract. The second do in the process of making a commission is have a set price list. Again, it will not only make your life easier, but it also will help the client understand whether they can afford you, what size they can afford, and feel like it's a very professional process they're walking through with you, guiding them. Have a set price list. I have in my initial engagements with a client, our first emails or our first conversations, I send or share with them 3 sizes of paintings, ranging from the smallest size I'm comfortable making a commission. For me, I do mostly portrait commissions. The smallest I'm willing to go for a portrait commission is 9 by 12. Any smaller than that, it'll become very difficult and not worth my time. So 9 by 12 up to, I quote them, up to an 18 by 24. So they get this range, 3 sizes, and they can understand the ballpark investment that making a portrait with me will be for them, and then choose what size within there they would prefer or they can afford. That's up to them. Have a set price list that is shared very early in the initial stages, so you don't spend a lot of time communicating with them only to find that that is not something that they can afford, or whatever the case may be. The third thing to make sure that you do when you're going through the commission process is to build a significant amount of time into the process. Quote them a longer amount of time that it will take for you to make the painting than it likely will. Why do I say this? Because commissions can be more stressful than our personal work. They take longer because the likeness does need to be spot on if it's a portrait. There's a lot on the line here because you really want to make them happy and pleased with the painting in the first unveiling of the piece and not have to go back and forth making lots of little adjustments to make them happy. There's more stress involved, and it's very helpful to be able to step away from the painting in the process or after you think it's finished and live with it for about a week. Work on your other personal projects, ask a trusted advisor and friend for advice along the way or at the end or both, and having time built in for you to not be stressed about, oh, I need to finish this painting in 1 week so I can get it to them by the holiday and have it dry, and now I have to drive it there because I can't ship all these things. It's just not worth it. Build extra time in. For me right now, I like to build about 6 months in for the client to expect that they're not getting their portrait in 2 weeks or whatever subject matter it might be for you. Okay, now let's go to the don'ts, things that you absolutely should not do in the process of making a commissioned painting. Do not take a commission in a subject matter that is not a strength for you. If you're primarily a portrait painter and you don't do many landscapes, you don't really like them, you're not feeling very confident in them, don't take a landscape commission. I know that the check can be so enticing and alluring, but the question I want you to ask yourself is it worth it? What can happen because of the added stress of having other people's expectations in the process, having money on the line, they paid you 50% down, you really want them to be happy. If you take it in a subject matter that's not your strength, your stress will be elevated quite significantly than if you took it in your preferred subject matter. It's going to take more time from you, not only the time painting, but mental capacity and space. And the question I asked earlier, is it worth it? Ask yourself that. Is it worth it for me to get this check and struggle in this painting potentially? Or is it more worth it for me to make my personal work and sell it through a gallery, put it in a show, win an award? All these other avenues, that might be a better use of your time. You could do that much quicker than agonizing over this painting that's not in your wheelhouse. Invest, take commissions in your strongest subject matter. For me, that's portraits. I love doing portrait commissions, and it is the best return on my time investment because I can make them semi-quickly after having painted portraits for the last 10 years and done hundreds at this point. The second don't in the commission process, and I think this is an important one and little talked about, is don't oversell the process. People are likely going to be putting a good deal of money into the painting commission. And as the painter, you really want to not only give them a good end product, but also a good and enjoyable experience of going through the commission process with you so that they tell all of their friends and family, I loved not only the end process, but I love Stephanie now. She was so fun to talk to. She really reassured us through along the way and made things very clear, etc., etc. Think of it like this. You are adding an heirloom clothing item to your closet. Potentially it's a winter coat that will be handed down to your children someday because it's very high quality. It will be an investment. What are the things that you want to know about that coat? You want to know what it costs, of course, what it's made of. You want to read reviews from people that have purchased this coat and worn it to know if it's worth the price, and you want to know when it's going to arrive. You don't need to know the pattern that the manufacturer is using to make the coat. You don't need to see progress pictures of the pieces laid out on the sewing table before they're put together. You don't care. You just want to receive that high quality finished product at the end. This might be a bit controversial, but I don't like to send progress shots to the client while I'm making the portrait. It opens myself up to a little bit too much scrutiny when I'm still working on the details, and I just don't need that outside perspective from the client. I do want it from artist friends that will be able to help me if I'm running into a problem, but the client likely is not an artist. They can't envision what the unfinished parts of the painting are going to look like finished, and it can actually increase the level of doubt in the client seeing a progress shot with a part of the painting unfinished, and they don't understand why it's unfinished, how you're going to finish it, etc. So don't oversell the process. I have it clearly stipulated in my contract. They will not necessarily be guaranteed process shots along the way. I do email them along the way saying, Great news, I've started the portrait. It's coming along beautifully. I can't wait to show you. Great news, the painting is almost finished. I'm really excited about how it's looking. I just have a couple more details and I'll be sending you a photo soon. And then the next email, here is the photo. Or if it's an in-person local commission, those interactions could be done in person. That's up to the particular commission, but don't oversell the process. I like to help my clients feel like they are carried through the process very professionally. I am in charge. I think that sometimes sharing some of those in progress pictures or not having a contract, or asking, do you like it, along the way, really starts to look unprofessional and unconfident, as if you need the affirmation along the way. And that just doesn't create a beautiful, wonderful, easy commission process for them as a client. Painting commissions is definitely an amazing way to supplement your income or to entirely make your income as an artist. There are some major pitfalls that we can fall into if we don't properly protect ourselves with something like a contract and a proper time frame, and help the client to enjoy the process so that they go out and tell all their friends, and now you have your books completely full and full of commissions that you are not only qualified to take, have the time to take, and are excited to paint. Please let me know what your non-negotiables are for the commission process in the comments below. One of the most important things for us as artists is to be putting the mileage in, so that when we come to a commission or something that will be going out into the world that is not necessarily our personal work, it can be the highest quality that it is. Getting that mileage in is most effectively done by painting from life. And that's why I've started the Broadcasting Brushers Life Painting Group. We are meeting twice monthly for 3 hours. 4K resolution live stream cameras are showing you the model and my painting and my palette simultaneously. So you can join the live stream with 80 other artists from all around the world painting live together with me. We're chatting about the process and the principles of painting, and then talking together about these sort of topics. How do you have your commission contract? How do you get pictures for reference photos for a commission, especially if the child is 3 and under, etc., etc. I hope you'll consider coming to paint with us. All of the information is on Patreon under Broadcasting Brushers.